Good evening there, folks. Welcome back to another stream with me, Fluent Code, here in the UK, live on Twitch and YouTube. That's right, we are back. I am just trying to find some music to entertain me. Now, I've kind of said sod it when it comes to our musical escapade, and we are going with we are allowing a little bit of copyright infringement to happen. Here we go. Enjoy a little bit of classic 80s. It's not quite the 90s, but that is really befitting this stream. But it's pretty damn close. Pretty damn close. So last night we cracked out a lovely chunk of base coating, and to be honest with you, we are absolutely going to continue with a lovely chunk of base coating this evening. Yeah, that's right, that's what we're going to do. We are going to carry on chonking away with our with our brush that we forgot to wash out yesterday. Oh, look at that, can you see? I don't know if the camera will actually pick up on it. Little bits of paint flipping everywhere. I'm giving myself silica poisoning or something. Right, I hate to do this because I've literally just started the stream, but I'm going to go wash out the brush. I'm going to risk it for a biscuit. I'm going to go and wash this one out, and back in a second. Now, while I was doing that, I appear to have gone and broken the damn thing. Yep. So that's mildly annoying, because I guess this is now more usable in confined spaces. That's what we're going to go with. That's the story that we're going to tell ourselves. Now, I do reckon I could probably do something about that. See, this is what we're all about. This is what this channel is all about. Making the most. No, this is shit. What have I done? What have I done? Oh no! I'm gonna have to see if I bend this bad boy back into shape. Somehow wedge this part of it into the carrier for the other part. Well, that's really not. How did that go there? That's completely misshapen. I'm going to have to sort of actually try and twist some material out of the loop, if that makes sense. That might work. So we're getting smaller now. We are getting smaller. So hopefully we can now. Nope, still not. This is not going very well for us, folks. attempts to fix the paintbrush foiled. Foiled at every turn. Oh. How is that so big and yet they were attached together? I don't understand. I don't actually think this is going to do me any favours. Even if I do manage to get that in there, it's so much bigger. The other end of the brush, there is no way that is going to go in. Not working out. Well, that's not exactly a stable brush anyway. We're going to have to go with the sleek streamline edition of our brush. That's terrible. Okay, well, it is what it is. I wish it wasn't what it is, but it is what it is. So we are back to dry brushing. Oh well, I'm actually a little bit peeved at that because come on, man. Just turn it ever so slightly. Yeah, slightly annoyed at that because I was actually quite enjoying that brush, and it wasn't until I went to rinse it out and dry it that it decided to give up a ghost on me. So maybe I was being a bit forceful. But it has had quite good service. I will have to go out and get myself another one. Unfortunately, another one comes in the form of buying a complete makeup set. This one came from Lidl, I believe it was. Do have some slightly larger ones, but obviously this is kind of the perfect size. And yeah, oh well. I just have to get used to wielding it in 1/4 like this. Look at it. Oh. Right, now, because we've got our brush wet, we are going to have to be very, very careful with this, the way it goes on. So let's see if we can get these other guys ready to go. As I say, because it's now actually brushed itself wet, these dry brushes that leave way more than I would like on, but a little bit uncontrolled this size. Just have to take that with a bit of a put up with what I'm sort of trying to say. There's not a lot I can do about it. has gone on a little bit more here than I've done, but it's just have to put up with it. The shortened brush that we're using has lacks a little bit of control, but it's also the fact that we had to wet the brush right before the stream. Silly me, got to wash it out yesterday. So I've got no one to blame but myself. Might need to add a little bit more, okay, because that's come up very weird since we got the brush wet. Want decent amount of paint on the end of the weapon to sort of highlight the fact that it's it has been highlighted. That logic sounds like. So we'll just work it into these places that we keep around. Back to that. It is awkward using it in its shortened nature, but it's not actually that bad. We will get by. It's just a case of move quite nice on the model. And you lack the ability to couch it in your, I don't know what they call that, saddle? Because I think that is considered, that's what it's called, a saddle. You know, the opposable bit of the thumb. The bit that makes us special. Good, right, that's another little set prepped. We'll pop those to one side. Now we have 5 more regular models to prep. Another squad of scouts. This is the one with the plastic head. I need to go quite careful on him because although he's super good, I don't want that thing off, because I have got another one somewhere that I converted, and his head has pinged off in the years since I converted him through to now when I eventually get round to painting. And it was a good number of years ago that I started prepping this army, and I went, oh yeah, converted scouts, they'll look cool, they'll be awesome, and then never got round to actually painting. But it's only once discovered stream that the idea of actually painting is truly taken root. So we're going to carry on with our short ink brush. I wonder if we've got an old brush, you know, like a regular brush, but we put, print it on, because it is a bit awkward. Cramping my dry brushing style. Such a thing to said with this. Broken brush all over. Heavy-handed. Right. So, as I say, we have 5 more regular models, 5 of these scouts, and then there is the one that I am actually dreading. The model that I am dreading. I don't know how we're going to make this bad boy work with the paint scheme that we've got. So, putting the contrast paint on, not too sure. Then coming back and putting the heavy coat of Mordian, not the crag blue on, not so sure. We will just have to see how this comes about when we actually get round to painting. I'm looking forward to painting this one. But also at the same time, absolutely not. Absolutely not. Once you actually get a nice smooth coat of this dry brushing on, it does really liven the model up. They come to life. They've got a real sort of luminosity behind them. They really do lend themselves beautifully to contrast with this technique. I'll show you one of the other ones. Really luminous. Comes up, it looks so nice, almost like you've already put a coat of the white on, the apothecary white. This is fun. It really do just seem to pop out and shine. Real nice sort of quality. I've only got a couple more of these guys. I'm just going to refresh my point. Now, some of you may notice that so far the Scout models are very much the common or basic Scout models that came as part of the Road Trader and second edition range. That's these guys. These were actually launched in Road Trader rather than second edition. And there are some which are considered quite common, namely the guys that are taking straight shots. These guys who are just sort of standing, and then there's another couple. There are a couple which are considered quite rare. The guy with 2 pistols, the guy with the power sword. I have got all of them. I've got all of the models of this range. I just some of the other ones are already base coat. It 10 on a few years when I sort of first got the idea of doing contrast paint Eldar, and I made a bit of a balls up. I did the black armour with a red helmet, and they looked all right to start off with, but the red wasn't quite as vibrant and bright as second edition models really need to be in order to make the simplistic models really stand out. They do need quite high contrast, they need quite bold and bright, and they weren't. So I gave up on it. I don't particularly want to have to strip and repaint them, so those ones will sit until I find myself in a desperate need for another squad or two of scouts. It's not to say we won't use them. I could use them as a second force. I don't think they're painted quite the same quality as the full coat. But we will have to experiment, see if we can either bring them in, maybe pop up their paint and add a little bit extra to them, or it might just be the case that they need to undergo the dreaded dip into, well, it's called the dip for a reason. It's concoction of paint stripper that I use for my second edition metal models. Mostly a combination of something called, well, I say combination, it's mostly a product called Clean Spirit, and years and years worth of model done. You chuck them into the dip, leave them for a couple of days, or depending upon how active you're feeling, it might actually be a couple of weeks that you leave them in there, and then you just sort of fish them out of this disgusting purple mess. It's like the forbidden soup, and away you go. Repaint them on, but I don't like that. But don't shit horrible. Back up a little bit and ready. Yeah, I'm definitely going to have to do something with this brush. It's hurting my fingers having to work with it because it's a short now. It's a short. So we've had our first proper day of rain. Ages today. Boy, hasn't everyone known. It's been very, very horrible sort of atmosphere. It does seem to have dried out a bit this evening, but in weeks and any noticeable rain. Literally everyone today has just been like, okay, it's raining, time to be an artist. Right, I'll get on with these guys. Okay. That's the last of the metal model, ready for some paint. And then we have this bad boy over one side. I say the last of the metal models. This guy has got some metal on it, but he is not what we call a metal model. Show me is that our Viper has a metal las cannon. Definitely a las cannon, not a bright lance. Remember the era that we're in. I mean, there's not really an awful lot for it, apart from hit it with some paint and hope for the best. Let's see what that looks like with some hope for the best. I have a feeling that we might need to reapply our white. I am a bit worried that the plastic texture is not actually going to allow me to dry. See? I'm a bit worried. No? Maybe I do need a bigger brush. heavily textured areas. Not the best of dry brushing effect, but it is something. Might need to put the other brush back. Go in a little bit heavier in some of those areas, just to get that texture right. Obviously that is going to be one of my sort of priority areas of making sure that this model looks right. So that's giving us a much smoother texture than what the big brush was. Careful that I don't break the glass cannon off. It shouldn't make much of a difference if this is all plastic. It should make, however, it clearly does, because compared to like the old Guardian, they're the same grey, weird plastic as all of those. It should make too much of a difference, but it does. It really does. Now, I'm very much unsure about what to do underneath this thing, because I don't really want to go ahead and flood it with dry brushing, because underneath is basically black. In terms of game terms, in terms of what I'd intended for the model, I'd probably anticipated at the bottom of this was, all of this area was going to be the sort of bone colour that we've set aside for equipment on most of the other models, which I suppose we might be able to achieve with this if we're quite brutal about this dry brushing. We can probably get enough texture on there to support that sort of colour scheme. Don't know how well it's going to transition. Could find a way to delineate where this is all in blue, and I think the blue might actually look quite nice with the really dark base of it. As long as we come up with something around there. getting a fairly decent colour transition down there. Well, I am not 100% happy with it, but I could be here scrubbing it with this tiny little truncated brush forever if I was truly going to wait until I'm 100% happy with it. And this brush doesn't have the resistance for a dry brush. It's not got the stiffness that the dry brush has. We're going to have to pack that off. Can't do that. Excuse me, bit of impromptu hairdressing here. Honestly, I think the answer to that is probably no. You can't do it. Are a bit more. To this song, I watched Once Upon a Time in the Where? No, A Million Ways to Die in the West. And at the end of the film, the bad guy asked the good guy if he had any last words or something along. And he said, "No, I want to sing a song." He started out with a song. I'm sat there, I'm like, what in the hell is he singing? What is he singing? And it was Baltimore, a Tarzan boy, and I was like, I don't really believe that, but clearly, what do I know? For some reason, I've got quite a tickle going on in my throat tonight. Not good, though. Now, that's our truncated brush. We will see if we have any better luck with this one. Well, we might have better luck. Let's have a look. Let's start having this. Oh, now we're talking. That's better. Not perfect, but my word, that's better. That is definitely very, very much better. Very, very much happier with that. Set me free, why don't you, babe? Me hanging on. giving us some subtle colour. Not perfect, and it is still just private over Zenith. Hope that's quite nice compared to what it was. Right, now, finally, we'll proceed to give the bottom of it a good old attack. See how much of this we can pull out deep, so that when we come along and hit it with our, I'm hoping, bone colour under most of this. Now that we've actually got some white on there, remember before we were mostly just tickling around the edges. I think now that we'll actually take some bone colour on that. So we can potentially come along through the entire underside, almost like a fight with a colour as if viewed from the ground. Wee. Wee. Yeah, see, I'm hoping not a child at heart. Excuse me. Now, yesterday we ran out of time. Today we're not going to run out of time, but I am going to go and wash these brushes right now before we have the same problem as we did then. So please excuse me just for a moment, I will be back in a second.
It's a celebration. Celebrate good times, come on. Let's celebrate. Come on now. Celebrate good times, come on. Let's celebrate.
There we go. That's
Have a good time tonight. Let's celebrate.
that's us
All right.
ready for the next session. We have our brushes primed and ready to go, and now we get to go ahead and put blue on things. More Talasar blue. So need to decide what we are doing with it. I was thinking what we would do with it is we would dedicate a very small portion back here to our yellow. Now, I don't know whether to do this panel here and this panel, or to do this panel and this tiny. But I think the better option is that one. Nice writing. Thank you very much for the follow. Really appreciate that. How are you? And welcome to the channel. So yeah, we're looking at colour schemes for this guy. Don't know quite what to do with the yellow. Nice rated, yeah, absolutely. The Discord link is down below. I am normally this sort of same time, 8 PM UK time. Normally live for a couple of hours most evenings during the week. So catch me there. Yeah, I'm just trying to figure out where on here to put the yellow. I am thinking perhaps I will do the canopy in a yellow or similar kind of colour, perhaps even with a sort of text pattern. Yeah. Whoa. Dropped it. I think for now what I'm going to do is I'm going to start by getting the blue on the main panel here. This great. Let's get some blue on the main panels here, and then we can fuss about it later on. And one of the nice things about this is I can put it on the base, and we'll get the top done, and then we'll take the base off and we'll flip it over and we'll paint the underside another time, because there is no way that I'm getting absolutely covered in this blue content. Okay, don't know how this is going to go, but let's put it on fairly thick and we'll see if we can get some contrast effect going with it without it staining too bad. Possibly could even use a bigger brush. Actually, that would help to eliminate those stains that work out, but don't want to go too thick and end up pulling too much paint from the pot and then creating the very same problem we were trying to avoid. I think if we're just careful, we can apply this in such a way that it avoids the majority of that problem. Hold the line. Love isn't always on time. I mean, it's still a lovely colour blue. It doesn't come across quite as well on a vehicle, I don't think. I mean, I'm not still super stoked about how it's coming out. Yep, see there, that's where we're going to struggle. Let's see if we can pull more saturation there and get that there. I mean, it was a vain attempt. You know, everyone has said can't get vehicles done properly in contrast. Oh yeah, no, I know that. Everybody, and it's come out quite nice, but it will still have that stain. I just won't be able to avoid it. So, luckily, we are not all about contrast paint. The contrast paint is a tool, not the tool. No, there's only one tool on this screen. So what we're going to do is, as per the rest of the arm, we're going to come back with our what the hell blue? The crag blue? Sounds very good, doesn't it? The crag. We come back with a very, very watered down coat of that, and it just changes the colour of this contrast paint just enough. It does something very, very weird to the colour, and it's such a nice effect. It worked really, really well on our test paint. It's starting to work quite well on the rest of the arm as we go through it back. So we're going to do it again on this one. I think I'm going to do that entire wing the other. Because I can. Oh no, look, I managed to pick up a nice bit of blue of itself. Yeah?
25 years and my life is still trying to get up that great big hill of hope for a destination.
So the aim is to try and get a good portion of blue, a good portion of yellow, a good portion of bone on. This one I think that the quick and the underside is going to be quite good with bone. So the yellow, we've got these wings which work. I think they will work in yellow. Just try and see where else we can improve on the model. I'm looking at the passenger. I'm not seeing it. I don't think it's right for a good addition with yellow. Mostly because he's wearing one of those little jackets, and we've already talked about those little jackets, and they're going to be quite grey. That's where we're going to leave that for the under. Do a little bit of repair work there. I'm just going to see if we go. up here to the bottom edge of the canopy, so it wasn't that rough edge, even though the nose is probably going to see it. I'm not going to bother going underneath because definitely nobody will see it that bit. If they do have to pick up the model, they're going to get a slap grip. I have seen a lot of people agonise over how much of the model they're happy to paint just in case somebody picks it up. And I'm like, if somebody picks up your model and you don't want, tell them to F off. You know, don't worry about how much you've got painted. Say, that's my model, get off. Unless you're submitting it into a competition, it's going to be judged on how much of it is painted, stuff like that. I don't really think it matters what everyday Joe at the table has to say about it. Apologies to anybody called everyday Joe. Just using you as an example. Very repairing. I am almost at the point where I'm having to paint the underside of it. I'm starting to colour up the sod. This now paint all of that. Otherwise it looks silly. Right, that's it. No more. Not getting no more paint on that. The rest of it underneath the canopy. So we'll bring these wings in the yellow colour. We're going to bring the cockpit in the yellow colour, but I think I'm going to paint in the struts of the canopy in the same blue. And then what have we got? We've got this dude is going to be in blue for his trousers and pants. Maybe this thing around his shoulder pad, and then grey for his top. He's going to be very awkward to paint, isn't he? You know, this is the first time that I have ever painted. I've had so many of these like this is the first time I've ever actually had to paint any part of it properly with a brush. Because mostly they have been spray and the whole lot has been sprayed with a couple of details. Because I've gone for this technique, I'm going to have to paint it, aren't I? Right, the cradle and that is going to be in blue. The mechanical bit underneath is going to be in bone. Well, I think there's enough yellow. That weapon blue, the weapon bone. I think that's going to be all right. So let's try and get the top side of this done. We are starting to dry out. So we've got a reasonable position to hold them on. And you're going to have to excuse me because this is going to be making a terrible straight as I try and get the brush into his groin and also not leave quite shut. That's what we've got. Effectively, with the amount of dry brushes we have got a crap load of white. Very much white. It's going to look quite garish if I leave So I do want to try to get in there. Oh, yeah. That is really awkward to get to. I might well have to go ahead and just run some black. But we will persevere. What are we persevering with? We're persevering. Not fuck up first. I do have more of this that I can bring to the arm if we expand. Which is the plan. The plan is to create an expandable arm. The idea that I would like is to create it expandable in terms of quarter-pay edition. So this first part of the army built solidly around second edition. A Guardian themed army from second. What's a Guardian themed army from second edition? Well, it's a Guardian based Vipers, Scouts, War Walkers, Guardian, weapon platforms, and I'm actually great with it could all turn out to be shit from here, believe me. And as some wise ass on the streamer, on the chat came up with the other day, because it is a citizen levy themed Guardian army, the idea being that all Eldar are trained to fight as Guardians if needs be, if their craft world is under threat. The idea is that their craft world is under threat. Alatok has called in its citizen levies, and all of their Guardians have put aside their Nintendo DS's and other things they spend their free time doing. They've picked up their suits of mesh armour from the dry cleaners, and they've mustered out ready for somebody who's had a bright arm should be called citizen, which I can't be mad. I cannot be mad at that idea for an army. It's just subtly genius. If I remember who came up with it, please don't tell them, because that was that. Fresh, fresh, fresh and so clean. Oh my god, it's so hard to get angled to get in there. and paint. Right, I've got it. This is not a model that I would suggest painting for December. Hello? I think I bought this one for December. Oh well, we'll get the worst one out of the way first. And then if I need to put another one in, hopefully they'll be 10 times easier to feel, because the other ones possibly disassemble. Come along, go, yeah, that's what you do. I don't know, they might have paint disassemble. Come on, back. Let me act dry. That's it. Got it.
I never meant to cause you any sorrow. I never meant to cause you any pain.
Yeah, extremely awkward to get in full model form. Definitely recommend. What is it they normally call it now in Games Workshop? They call it sub-assembly. But definitely recommend. When you come to paint your Viper jet bikes, don't glue them together. I refuse to take responsibility for this. I did buy it as a complete assembled thing off of eBay. Second one, not the job lot or something like a normal. However, all the other ones that I bought, I have managed to pull them apart. This one, no. No such luck. Even that arm, that arm, potential where it should be. So the torso is completely out of place. I mean, nobody's really going to notice it when it's painted and fielded as part of the full arm. But, I mean, I was about to say, I'll know it's there, but honestly, I don't care. Just having a painted arm is going to be absolutely nothing. You don't need not that much. Knowing that the jet bike gunner's arm isn't in exactly the right place, it's not there. But being able to feel into the second edition LR it'll be the first time it'll since second edition. Third edition was most chaos. We started doing Emperor's Children's Space around about that time. Then I had a full arm. Never again did I paint or build my Eldar army. Of course, I haven't now played for quite a few years, so this might be the quick start that I need to actually book some table time at any local game store to find an opponent who's willing to indulge an old grog like me to roll in some dice and hang. Right, how are we looking at? Do don't touch it. So we're going to try and get all of that trade in the bone colour. All of this here in the bone. There. Not going to be too much this guy, but I can see. Okay. So don't need to go too. Or even this one, darn. I refuse to accept the blame for the wonky arm. Previous owner did it and ran away. Oh, I'm not yet. That'll do. Right. Now, can I get this piece here in blue as well? Probably do this constantly. Right, the rest of it is going to have to be bone. Dream of Californication. Oh, right, time. On the bottom of the hands.
To the world, be my very own constellation. A teenage bride with a baby inside, getting high on information. And buy me a star on a boulevard, it's Californication.
It is a very complicated model. Paint in one. Yeah, again, if there's anything that I can do to influence your painting of a Eldar Viper, paint it in subs. Don't use the word sub. Right, there we go. So now that is going to do, we will let that dry off to one side. I do like it, I think it's a nice colour. Well, it's a lovely colour. Okay, and now the army is really starting to look something. We have 3 final Guardians from the second squad, the Shuriken Catapult squad, left to paint, so we are going to crack those ones out this evening. Hopefully, should that do? Yeah, hopefully we should be able to get all of these Guardians done. Whether or not I can do any more Guardians, we have got scouts, we've got scouts and a weapon platform to do. And then, believe it or not, after that, we're actually done with this first step of blue frosting. That is a cause for celebration. Because this blue is 4 steps, minimum 4 steps. And so, because it's the primary colour across the whole arm, getting one of those steps done is a big achievement. I'm really pleased, and I think it will deserve to take a few photos. So we'll get the camera out, get everything set up, we'll snap a few snaps, we'll post them up on Discord and Insta, of which the links are below. That's if you're watching Twitch. If you're watching on YouTube, who knows? If you're watching on YouTube, try and find me on YouTube. We'll have a great time. If you are watching on Twitch, then a little cheeky follow does go a long way. It means absolute world to me. I'm growing the channel, so please do follow along. You'll get going live notifications, and you make me feel special. So that's something. You will also get going live notifications on Discord if you so join. We do have a nice going live link on there that automatically goes up when we hit that start streaming button. So you get a notification. So there should really be no excuse to miss us going live. We continue on with this project. For those of you just joining us, the project is a 2nd edition army project to make all of these guys look like these guys. This is the sample miniature that we did, our test piece. We had great fun doing that over an inordinate amount of time. It took us about 6 streams, I think, to decide finally on a colour scheme. And then immediately, as soon as we started painting, we went, no, that's way too significant. Replicate that. So, yeah, that's but yeah, the more ways that you can interact with the channel, for me, the better. So, like I say, pop on Discord and the Instagram, where you'll get updates of the army progress. Posting pictures up there every so often. And also, if you want to post any of your own stuff in the Discord, all of the channels are there. Get your shameless self-promotion. this one is probably the Guardian with the least amount of armor. The rest of them, these guys, are just covered in stuff. That one, not so much. I reckon he's just that tough. Bow, 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 bow. Oh, here we go, folks. Right, we are on the last legs of this blue. We have these three guards. We have 5-man scout, and we have the weapon. Now, I don't think all of those guns. Back is starting to twinge on me already. And certainly during the like, that's kind of where I've judged my stamina and tolerance, what have you, up to be. So although we've had quite quiet we don't sort of tend to hang it out, dead air, that sort of thing. I actually think next might stop it, because I do like it. Grumbling very early. You don't react with dead air. Don't expect the dead air to win. That dead air is probably that anyone can find somebody. And if they, they can't just jump in willy-nilly. You kind of need to be having this sort of stream of consciousness Your regular just chat bullshit. Right, I'm sure there's a couple of bits that I missed on the bit of double check these, right? Fine. Got all of the right, yeah. So they're all okay. There we go. See them all there in the background now. Right, last one in that case. I don't know how much longer we're gonna. Oh, hello. Is this not on camera? Lovely. You have a nice time. Yeah. Oh, Rob. There we go. Just the opportunities in bulk. School holidays. Good. School holiday. Yeah. Always. Like every couple of weeks. School holiday. What is it this week? Oh, it's school holiday. Right, get this final dude blue. This dude needs to be blue. Then we will have almost the entire arm done. What have we got left? As I was saying, we have a scout squad and a weapons platform, blue. Then we need to yellow the entire army, because we literally haven't done anything with that. The blue is a 4-stage process. So we have this first contrast layer. Then we have a layer of the crag blue, heavily thin over the whole model, over the whole blue. Well, not the whole. Very simple, won't not going to be simple. So yeah, we've got to go over this blue probably 3 more times. I will see if I can limit the process. No, I can't. I can't limit the process. So the process is that we decided on, we decided was a good recipe, is to hit everything with a layer of thin McCrag blue. Excuse me. which will tone this back. Create a much smoother blue, and also get us to the colour shade that we decided was absolutely the best back for. So we have that. That's the first layer. Then we come along and we do a layer of highlight in light colour. Make this quite a lightened up armour. And then we come back for a final highlight in ice blue. And potentially, certainly when we were doing our test, we actually applied a couple of infinite highlights. So it was ice blue mixed with light dark blue. Hopefully we're actually going to eliminate that stage. Not going to need to do it because again, over the course of 30 or 40 models, that does add a huge amount of paint. And if you can eliminate it, it eliminates it. We're not all about cutting corners, but in order to complete this army project, it does need to be sustained. We are going to need to be able to actually complete it. So yeah, that's the logic behind this. So, no, I'm not going to end the stream. I'm going to go right on ahead and carry on with the blue. I've got a little bit more in. I am starting to flag. It's been quite a long day at work. Long old Monday. So we're just going to very carefully find its weapon platform. This weapon platform is for the deep. At some point I will be reviewing the army list with you guys, so it's quite input. See whether any strategies, memories of using the same sort of army list in second edition, or even using the same sort of army list in other editions. Because the idea is that we eventually make ourselves legal army in multiple editions of. The first one will be second, because that's the edition that I started. Way 96 or 97 first. So these platforms are obviously going to be blue. Blue on the main base of the platform, and then yellow on the gun shaft. Gun shield. This shield with yellow on the lay top, and then the gubbins on the back, and this bit at the front, as well as the gun itself. I'm sure I'm going to paint the gubbins here in bone, but I might be convinced otherwise. Might be convinced to do that as well, but nobody's fighting. and 4 and not on the side of the platforms. Nobody will ever see. Don't like anybody who comes up and goes, "Can I have a look?" No. Get off. Man off. Right, get this one done and we will get through. Well, I think that will take us to the important. Would like to try and get that in, but a bit tired. Good long Monday. Lots of stuff going on at work at the moment. Right. We're going to get those. Now we will go ahead and do through. These boxes, I am leaving these boxes painted in bone in the same manner as the weapons. Being done, then what the Well, someone's hand on form sculpted this guy. A lot of effort. Oh, nearly. Make one bit of detail left in this guy, and by this guy's hand on point. That sculpt the arm of the hand. Is there anything else going to be blue on him? No, I don't think there is. I think that is all the blue he's going to need. Oh, back. Oh. Now, do we try and get one more in? There's not a lot of blue on this guy, so we can just safely get this last one in. Yeah, we'll have possibly a few minutes to spare. Just to sort of chat about how things are going. And what we've got stalking going. Big in Japan, or I do wonder what the logic on the song was. Who was actually significant?
Looking in your eyes, I see a paradise. This world
Oh wow, right, okay, finally, I say finally, it's not finally, is it? Because I've still got, oh, 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 mustn't forget the weird little doodad on the back of their shoulder. Good, it is. Might okay. A shoulder pad, like all good brown rockers. Have weird doodads at the backs of their shoulders as well. Mustn't forget the doodads. If you look that up, Eldar doodads won't. Cool. Right, that, ladies and gents, is it for tonight. That is, I would say that we are probably 95% of our original blue colour done. We have a single squad of scouts left to do. A single 5-man squad of scouts. Scouts themselves are not terribly blue. So we are in an excellent position as to how we proceed with the next stage. And the next stage, I think, will be to, as boring as it sounds, do the next bit of blue. That's right, that's the watered down McCrag blue coat. We'll get ready to say goodnight to you. I am not going to raid out this evening because it's stale if you do it every time, doesn't it? So for now, I'll say goodnight to everyone, and I hope to see you on next stream. Next stream is, what are we today? We're Tuesday. Next stream is tomorrow, Wednesday, 8 o'clock. No stream on Thursday, but back Friday. I might not be able to do Saturday. I've got D&D. And it is an awful lot to try and do D&D and a stream. But it is a Saturday, so I might just about have the oh, what happened there? It might have dropped something. I might just about have the stamina in to do a stream on Saturday, but if not, I will probably come back and do a midday stream on Sunday. Sunday again. Change D&D around this week. Thank you very much for joining us. Let me just, I think I probably will see if I can find something to break out on, just because it is the nice thing to do. So I hope you've all had a good evening with us here, and let's jump into Mediocre Hobbies. Welcome into the channel. Thank you very much for the stream. I seem to be dropping in and out. Thank you very much for dropping by. Really appreciate it. Thank you very much. Rather typically, you've joined me just as I planned on ending the stream, which is awkward. In that case, I won't bounce you guys immediately over to somebody else because I do feel that is very, very poor form. Thank you very much for Mediocre Hobbies, the raid. I do really appreciate it. Unfortunately, it is a school night, and whilst I appreciate the viewers, I can't extend the stream. So hopefully you guys can toddle off and find somebody else on the miniatures and models. And, have a pop. Thank you very much, everybody, and I will see you on the next stream, which is tomorrow night, 8 p.m. Thanks very much. Toodaloo.